From downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Hi, my name is Ben Ankcorn. Welcome to Channel 4 Action News. Today we're going to be covering advances in technology from 1900. Our first story today is Apollo 11. Out to our correspondent in the field, Jake Sheffield.
I'm standing here at the launch site of Apollo 11, where 54 years ago, American astronauts such as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin took flight. By going to space and to the moon and beating the Russians, it changed the landscape of space exploration forever, with a whole new frontier out there, and affecting the Cold War dramatically. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Jake, for that amazing story out in the field. For next, we go to the atomic bomb, a tragic but necessary event to end the horrors of World War II. For more on that story, we go to Tyler Geffken out in the field.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hiroshima, Japan, where we are here on the dropping of the atomic bomb, Fat Man, onto Japan, ending the World War for once and for all. Thank you very much. Back to you, Ben.
The atomic bomb, ladies and gentlemen. Which wouldn't be possible without the miracle of nuclear energy. For more on the story, we're going to go back out into the field with our correspondent, Jake Sheffield. Out to you, Jake.
On December 20th of 1951, just across the border in Idaho, the United States opened the first EBRI nuclear power facility. This originally only powered 4 200-watt light bulbs inside the facility, but now it can power much more than that. Nuclear power in general has become the world's second highest clean energy producer, right behind hydropower. Back to you, Ben.
Julius Oppenheimer, also known as the father of the atomic bomb, was born in 1904. He died in 1967. He will be remembered as the man that helped the United States end World War II. For more on the topic, we're going out to our chief correspondent out in the field, Sam Oberst. Out to you, Sam.
Julius R. Oppenheimer was a German-born scientist who was the head of the Manhattan Project, set out to create an atomic bomb to end World War II. Without Oppenheimer, the world would be a much different place.
Thank you, Sam, for that wonderful reporting on Julius Oppenheimer. But now, we're going to go to our story on the computer, which has changed the world in ways we can never imagine. For more on the story, we're going to go to our correspondent in the field, Harper Churape. Out to you, Harper.
Thank you, Ben. The computer is a programmable device that stores tons of information and has great impacts on the world that we live in. Today's computers are electronic devices that process data and produce very fast results. Now, back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Harper, for that amazing reporting. For more on that, we have a graph from 1995 to 2012. If we could put that up right now, Sam. Thank you. Our next subject is razor wire and the effects of it. Out to Harper Churape in the field.
Barbed wire and razor wire was used during World War II to keep enemies out of foxholes and was very important in warfare strategy.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Just the way I like it. You know, someday, way in the future, the sun may be able to provide all our energy needs. But right now, it gives us a comfortable feeling to know that our home is being supplied by nuclear power. Oh, I know what you're thinking, but we're not worried, because we know that nuclear energy is safe. In fact, we kind of think of it as our friendly neighbor. But remember, our friend can't exist without huge government subsidies. So write your congressman and tell him to keep those government dollars rolling into nuclear power.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big, fluffy bun.
It's a very big, fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a ham modestly called a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our amazing correspondent, Harper Churape, for their reporting on Razor Wire. But now we're moving on to our next story, which is the jet propulsion engine. And for more on that, here's Tyler Geffken.
Jet propulsion was a technology used in both World War II and the Cold War, and it changed war by air forever. It was created in August 1939, and it was made by a young German physicist, which powered the Heineken He 178. It can reach massive top speeds, as seen right here. Wow.
Thank you for that amazing reporting from the Channel 4 Action News team. Now we're on to the usage of cell phones and the invention of them. On to Tyler Geffken with reporting.
Cell phones, a revolutionary technology that has drastically changed and evolved with the times. Without cell phones, long-distance calls and apps like Facebook would not even exist. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Tyler, for that amazing reporting. Now we are on to the topic of the Green Revolution. For more on that, here we go with Jake Sheffield.
The Green Revolution emerged in the mid-20th century as a possible solution to starvation. Scientists had recently developed new variations of wheat, rice, and other grains that were much more resistant to pests, disease, and drought, allowing product output by farmers to shoot up. New variations were found by a new method called crossbreeding, breeding two varieties of a plant to create a hybrid. The increased use of irrigation, fertilizers, and pesticides by the farmers increased food production. This was a major development in the mid-20th century because it allowed us to produce more food for the increasing population. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Jay, for that reporting. Now, on the topic of the Green Revolution, we're moving into the invention of GMOs. Off to Harper Churape with that topic.
A genetically modified organism, or GMO, is an organism whose DNA has been modified in a laboratory to make the plant more desirable. In 1973, biochemists Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen developed the first genetically engineered organism by inserting DNA from one bacteria into another. Now back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Harper, for that amazing reporting. We also have a graph to demonstrate the importance. It's the production of grain in the 20th century. If we can get that up, Sam. Thank you. Now we're on to the satellite Sputnik. Here with all about it is Jake Sheffield. That's you, Jake.
In the famous space race between the United States of America and the Soviet Union launched the world's first satellite on October 4th, 1957. The Russian satellite was an 85-kilogram metal sphere the size of a basketball. It was launched on a huge rocket and then orbited Earth for 3 months. This was a spectacular feat for the Soviet Union, who landed a decisive and shocking blow to the United States and its citizens, who had hoped that the United States would accomplish this feat first.
Thank you for that amazing interview, Jake. Now we're on to synthetic rubber with Harper Churape. Out to you, Harper.
Thank you, Ben. Now on to synthetic rubber. Synthetic rubber was one of the most crucial supplies developed during World War II. It was much more resistant to abrasion and oxidation than natural rubber, and could be vulcanized, becoming a crucial part of wheels of aircraft, vehicles, and, as a matter of fact, bubblegum. Today, synthetic rubber is used in various tires, clutches, engines, bearings, conveyor belts, and far more. Back to you, Ben.
Now, to finish off the night, we're going to be moving on to some further knowledge from Tyler Geffken. Out to you, Tyler.
Thank you very much, Ben, along with the other members of the Channel 4 Action News team, for that excellent story. I'm going to dive into some historical context now, so bear with me. So while the population of the world grew, globalization made the world feel smaller, as it advances telecommunications technology with various full-scale wars that took place during the 20th century, such as both world wars, along with the Cold War. People began to wonder if peace would ever stay. This pushed many various new thoughts, governments, communication technologies, and agricultural production to the front foot. In the 1900s, radio gave the people information wealth about anything, from music, news, many different cultural events taking place. Shipping containers allowed migration of people and movement of goods. Energy technologies like oil and nuclear use have made transporting goods faster and cheaper than ever possible. Knowledge economies based upon developing or sharing information took root in cities around the world. And from 1900 to the present, the world began anew, history speeding itself up. So now I'm going to dive into some communication and transportation. So decades before the introduction of the internet, communication technologies were connecting people around the world. Television and radio ads encouraged people to reach out and touch someone by making a long-distance phone call. By the 1990s, cell phones and various other mobile ways to connect allowed individuals around the world to use platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and other social apps, talked about both by Tyler and Harper there. With widespread information able to be seen and obtained in a matter of minutes, civil unrest became quite relevant, actually. New videos of police actions in the United States sparked protests and racial profiling among citizens both in the U.S. as well as throughout the rest of the world. Technological advances in communication helped people spread information with the rapid spread of news and movement of people. Every day, about 2 million people fly on an airplane, which is kind of crazy considering that we didn't even have an airplane a couple of hundred years ago. Cargo planes, along with giant tankers, transport thousands of commercial goods to every corner of the world. So, yeah, that's a brief little examination of communication and transportation there. And then I also want to talk about the Green Revolution, which was like a massive thing in terms of new technologies in the 1900s, as it gave way to increases in population, new foods, a lot more like demand for farmers, in the sense that farming became a lot easier and more large scale. So the economy grew massively because of it. So yeah, the Green Revolution emerged in the 20th century as a possible solution for starving. Scientists have recently developed new forms of wheat, rice, other grains, such that are more resistant to pests, diseases, and drought, which, what I was talking about earlier, advanced the agricultural technology and economy. The new variations were found by a new method called crossbreeding, which is breeding two varieties of a plant to create a hybrid, such as like corn, wheat, everything that we commonly eat today. With new technologies, scientists today have also learned genetic engineering. This is a fairly recent thing. I believe Sam talked about it, GMOs. So it's pretty much where scientists manipulate a cell or an organism without having to mix it with another cell or organism. So that's really interesting and super new still. The increased use of irrigation, fertilizers, and pesticides by farmers increased food production, again increasing the economy of agriculture and just increasing population as well. Unfortunately, the Green Revolution also had some problems. Technologies were very expensive. Farmers could often not afford them. Also, since many of the technologies involved mechanical equipment, the world produce economy saw a major hit to farm labor job opportunities. So pretty much as the agriculture expanded in terms of like sheer quantity and industry, the actual jobs decreased because they were using things such as like huge tractors, big factories, just breaking everything down. Instead of using like mainly hand labor, which is what they were using prior to the Green Revolution, which is why it was such a big idea and topic. So genetic engineering also saw a conflict. People argued that genetic modifications would see a decline in population of pollinating insects, such as bees. So like, pretty much they were thinking that since these things were super unnatural, that the actual nature in the world would see a huge hit because it'd have to adapt like it was almost a foreign species, really. So that was a really big topic for them. But I can go into some other things here. But okay, synthetic rubber. It was a huge topic and really massive for the world wars, and like people literally used their whole entire economy just towards synthetic rubber. So synthetic rubber was one of the most crucial supplies developed during World War II, as I just said, and along with the Cold War, is much more resistant to abrasion and oxidation than natural rubber, which could be vulcanized, becoming a crucial part of wheels in aircraft, vehicles, and a matter of fact, bubblegum actually, which is really odd and kind of concerning, but so yeah, it was able to use, and I mean, not exactly tank treads, but like a ton of armored vehicles, planes, anything that had to do with the Army and wanted to be durable, long-lasting, and fairly cheap. They turned to synthetic rubber, and it was also a lot easier to produce, so that was really helpful. Today, synthetic rubber is used in various tires, clutches, engines, bearings, conveyor belts, a lot more, and just in terms of cars in general. And then lastly, I want to talk about Julius R. Oppenheimer. We briefly talked about him, but so he was born in Germany and died on his birthday, actually. He lived till he was, I believe, 67. So that was a really short life, but super impactful in terms of what he brought to the world. He was a key part of the Manhattan Project, as we said, and so pretty much the Manhattan Project, if you don't know, was a group of scientists put together and funded by the U.S. government to build an atomic bomb, which eventually ended the Second World War in the Pacific, which is a huge deal. This project was created by President Franklin Roosevelt, where Oppenheimer was named the director, overseeing the project. Without Oppenheimer, the world would be a very different place, and we could potentially be under a completely different rule in general. Yeah, so that's a little brief historical context and various other information. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. And Channel 4 News signing off. Thank you very much.
And that'll be a wrap for tonight. A big thank you for tuning into our show. I'm Ben Ankcorn, and this was Channel 4 Action News.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.